Would the offender please introduce yourself?
My name is Paul Isenogle. DOC.
How you doing, Mr. Isenogle?
Can you repeat that, sir?
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine, sir.
I was on your last parole panel. And,
I do remember you.
and give us your Department of Corrections ID.
410069.
And we've been before this, so you know the process. I'm going
Yes,
to
sir.
read it to the record. Warden, make remarks, and we're going to hear from your and we have a guest at Dixie. Would you please introduce your guest?
My guest is my sister, Lisa Isenogle,
Okay,
who agreed to take me in.
right. Okay. We granted you in February of last year, right?
Yes, sir.
And we basically said that you needed to complete 3 programs.
Yes, sir.
And you completed all 3 of those programs. With the 3rd program, you didn't complete within a 9-month period. So therefore, we had to rescind that decision and give you a new hearing.
I'm fine with that.
So in between the time I signed the rescind order, you have completed the 3rd program. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. That would have been Thinking for a Change was the final class I was in.
And just tell us what 3 classes we asked you to complete.
The first one was the Nurturing Parenting. The second one was the Victim Impact. And the third was the Thinking for a Change.
Okay. And you completed all 3 of those programs. But it was ordered by the board, but you didn't do it in 9 months.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you had any disciplinary write-ups since the last hearing?
No, I haven't.
And by virtue of Mr. Huntley being present, we have a good transition plan with the Louisiana Parole Project. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. A few months ago, I had contacted my sister to ask Mr. Huntley for some help. And most recently, I've been accepted into their program. If I get granted parole again, I would go to Baton Rouge for a short term where they'd help me transition back into society. Counseling, classes, whatever I need.
And where's your permanent transition plan at?
That's gonna be with my sister out in Kenner, Louisiana.
Okay.
Once I complete the program.
Warden Baker,
Yes, sir.
any comments or concerns since our last hearing?
No, sir. Hadn't been any changes except he completed those 3 classes.
Now, Mr. Huntley's present. Mr. Huntley, would you tell us briefly what his transition plan looks like?
Yes, sir. If this board grants Paul his release, he would first immediately release to Louisiana Parole Project, where he will take part in phase 1 of our residential reentry program in Baton Rouge. During that time, we will work with him on his transition with programming to help him with technological literacy, financial management, social norms, among other topics. Will ensure that he has services to ensure he has health insurance coverage, that he has his doctor appointments taken care of, and that he has a mental health and substance abuse evaluation and support from our staff social worker, and we'll work with him to ensure that he understands what next steps he needs to take. Most importantly, for a minimum of 1 year, even after he completes phase one, he will receive case management services from one of our reentry specialists. Based on his institutional record, we have a high degree of confidence in Paul's success.
Thank you, Mr. Huntley. Mr. Isenogle, since you have positive remarks by Warden Bickham, you have completed everything that the parole board has part of you before release. You have a permanent residency plan with your sister, Lisa Isenogle, in Canada, Louisiana. I'm going to expedite this hearing, if your sister don't mind.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And I'm going to grant your early release because you have fulfilled all requirements ordered by the board. You have a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And you are to do community service 4 hours month, and if NAAA is necessary, it will be directed by your parole officer. Do you understand the conditions?
Yes, sir, I do.
Ms. Wise?
It was a pleasure meeting you today, Paul. You worked hard. I see the family resemblance in you two. You're almost twins from this point.
Thank you.
I wish you well. My vote is to grant for the reasons already stated on the record. Best wishes to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And my vote is the same. I concur with my colleague. My vote is to grant.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson.
Mr. Isenogle, this was not a regular parole hearing. This was a rescind, and you have done everything that we require of you. So your early release has been granted. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
I don't know if I should tell you what he did. I'll put the link in the description, but he murdered his baby. Yep. You shocked? Yeah. His baby, I think, was, let's see, 7 months old. 7 weeks old. I'm sorry. Yeah, 7 weeks old. That guy. He got a 40-year sentence. This was in 2000 when he was sentenced. So basically served like half and, or more than half. And they're like, okay, you do the courses, you get out. But he's a cockroach, and people better be afraid. He basically beat the baby so hard and then lied about it. Okay. So he lied about it. His fiance at the time was working. He was unemployed because he's a stand-up guy, he was unemployed. So he's staying at home with the baby, and he said he lost his job because he was helping his pregnant girlfriend. Yeah, okay. And then he called and said that the baby had fallen. So they called the doctor, and the doctor asked all the questions, and he said, no, she's fine. And the mother didn't feel great. She rushed home early and said that the baby had a softball-sized lump in her head, and the doctor's notes will just make you cry, so I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did. I don't think baby killers should get out early. With that, I'll let you go.